Now, it's time to talk about wedding etiquette. We've been chatting about this all morning. I went to a wedding on the weekend where there was a big problem with somebody wearing a white gown who wasn't the bride, whether kids should be allowed at weddings. Paul, you've got something that's a major gripe for you.
And also the other day, one of the producers was saying she went to a wedding on the weekend and there was just a mass of kids. It was like a creche.
Yes.
And it was Larnaca. And they were, you know Larnaca. And they were screaming and distracting everybody. Hideous children.
So we decided to figure out what the do's and don'ts. I don't know whether they were hideous. I'm sure their parents love them.
Do you know what I hate?
With that?
You know what I hate?
What?
Being trying to get to the end
when
of
you're
this.
doing an intro.
Exactly.
I know. I hate that too.
I really hate it.
Who would
as long
even
as
do
it doesn't
that?
happen at a wedding, it's fine. Lady Danielle Di-Masi is an etiquette expert and she joins us now. Just firstly, are you actually a lady?
I am a lady, actually.
Can't you tell?
Wait, no, but, I mean, so that's an official title before we get to etiquette. How so?
It is an official title, not through being regal. Unfortunately, a few years ago, I was doing some book research for Gen Ys, because I'm an etiquette expert, on how to become an actual lady. And during that time, I discovered that you could just buy the title online.
Yeah.
So being typical Gen Y myself, I bought it online. But it also goes with my brand of being a lady.
How much did it cost you?
A couple of $100 for a piece of land. Basically, what you're doing in Scotland. Yes,
yeah,
you
I've got it as well.
Oh,
I'm a lord.
you're a lord.
I'm a lord.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We'll have tea afterwards.
Anyway, we'll have tea afterwards.
But it's about the size of this table, so it's really not that big.
You could stand on it, couldn't you?
Yes.
We
Anyway, let's not talk about the land in Scotland.
We planted a tree on it.
So let's start with wedding etiquette.
Wouldn't you,
kids,
if you were a lady, wouldn't you have a tiara?
It's a figure of a princess.
Yes.
I would wear a tiara if I was a lady.
I'm sure you do.
Okay.
Now, let's start with kids, because obviously that's where this all kicked off. Is it okay to invite kids to a wedding, or should people just rock up with them? Is there an etiquette there?
I think you need it comes from the bride and groom. Everything has to come from the bride and groom and what their decision is. If they want kids there, if they're fine with kids there, they might have 50 flower girls if that's what they want. So whatever they want is what's going to happen.
But if you just rock up with kids uninvited without asking and assuming they're allowed, that's completely
I
not
would
the way to
say
do
that
it.
that's wrong. However, I think that it needs to start at grassroots, and the bride and groom can put it on the invite to say this is this wedding will be catered for adults. As much as we love and cherish your children, it's not an event for them.
What are some of the other big do's and don'ts?
Don't wear white. As
Really?
A woman. No.
Don't we need to move with the times? Couldn't you wear an
Someone's
off-white?
already in white, because don't you think...
Presumably.
What about when you go to a party and someone else is wearing the same colour dress or the same dress? You're like, oh my goodness, that's embarrassing.
Same dress, but I think a wedding dress is such an elaborate piece of work normally, and just a lovely white shift dress. Anyway, it wouldn't bother me as a bride.
As long as you're not wearing a hat that's kind of like long
or
mesh.
carrying a bouquet.
Or a tiara.
What about guest lists? Because I've noticed a bit of a trend these days is that you have a bigger engagement party and invite everyone you want to the engagement party, and you can cull for your actual wedding. Is that okay?
Cull?
You just don't say that to the guests.
Exactly.
That is a huge trend at the moment, and you know, because of financial reasons as well as what someone wants out of their wedding, they might just want something intimately. And again, it starts with the bride and groom just saying, we want everyone to be a part of the celebration. We love you. We want you to be a part of our life, so we're going to have a big celebration. However, the wedding's a small, intimate function, and as long as they understand that and you use good language and just not say cull or those sort of words, or not be like, I don't want your terrible children at my wedding.
I've always hated your children, please don't bring them.
Other people's children's are kind of not yours.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, they're no children. No, just yours. So here's the thing that I hate with a passion. You know, they say that, you know, it's the thought that counts.
Yes.
People that have gift registers, because there's no thought associated with that at all. Those people are just greedy, nasty, mangy people, I think. Because at the end of the day, you know, you want to give them something special from you. Well, there's nothing you give them if it's from a gift register is special from you.
But what if you have horrible taste?
They put it on the list. Well, but
I don't want a gift from you.
That's part of
Then
it,
you're
isn't
gonna
it?
get
That's the
culled.
attraction.
I think aren't you really helping your guests by providing a guest register?
I think it's just a guideline, and it's just an option that you can purchase something if you wanted to get them something that they don't already have. Unfortunately, and a lot of people have wishing wells and so forth, or giving money, because giving gifts comes from a long tradition from long ago when people didn't live together before they got married. So now we have the kettles, we have the toasters, the sandwich makers, the fridges and so forth. It's just a guideline to say...
So you think it's okay? It's okay etiquette to have a gift register?
But it's also okay for you not to buy a gift that's not on the registry if you want to buy them something.
Although sometimes it's hard to do that. I had these people that got married. They weren't my people, but I was invited, and they actually stipulated the shop that you could purchase from, and so you went to the shop and they said, oh, is it the wedding of her? And you said yes, and they got the register out and said, you know, and do you know what they actually said to me? And I'm very rich. They said to me, they said, if you can't afford one of these things, you could put some money towards one.
Wow, that's nice.
And I just thought, well, I'm not going to that wedding.
And you can't buy taste, no matter how wealthy you are.
Or cars, as we saw
hotline,
today with our reporters.
Danielle Di-Masi, thank you very much for joining us on your report.